If the stock front lower control arms in your 2007 to 2021 Tundra have been damaged, or maybe the ball joints are just beat from years of abuse, then you might want to look into this turnkey kit complete with brand new ball joints to get your Tundra driving like new again. Now this set of 2 new lower control arms will come preloaded with fresh rubber bushings along with brand new ball joints and can be had all for right around that low $400 price point for the pair. So there are a couple of reasons why you might want to look into a new set of lowers for your Tundra. Maybe you smoked a curb or a rock off-road, maybe you got into a minor fender bender and tweaked the stocker slightly, or maybe your truck just has a ton of miles and therefore the bushings and the ball joints have just seen better days, which can lead to things like clunking, vibration, and poor handling overall. Now these new options here will freshen up the entire steel lower control arm from things like the inner bushings all the way down to the brand new low friction ball joint loaded into the powder coated black arms here, and again are brand new, fresh, 0 miles and not remanufactured. Now moving into construction here, and these arms are incredibly burly for a factory reproduction style part. Again, you are getting a fully welded steel lower control arm here that has been finished off in a satin black powder coat. We did briefly mention brand new rubber bushings here, both on the chassis side, and then moving down the arm to the knuckle side, you are getting a brand new low friction ball joint here, and they even top it off with a brand new castle nut and brand new cotter pins. Now the arms again are fully welded. They are a complete stock replacement, so obviously no need for any modifications, and they are backed by a solid warranty in case you run into any issues. Now coming in around that low $400 price point for the pair, these factory style replacements will be on par with most other factory style replacements that you might encounter here on ExtremeTerrain or perhaps somewhere else. Regardless, if you want to look into other options here, whether it be more of a factory replacement or maybe something that will provide you with some upgrades in regards to different bushing styles or maybe a different tubular style arm, definitely check out the rest of our selection here at XT before making your final decision. All right, last but not least, what do you say we talk install? And the site's gonna go with a middle of the road 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, taking you at least an hour to complete from start to finish, maybe a little bit more depending on how fast you like to work. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down on your Tundra at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need an impact, a 24mm wrench, a ratchet, a 27, a 22, 23, multiple 22s, a 19 and a 16mm socket, a swivel socket extension, pliers, a ball joint press tool, and various pry bars. Today we're going to be installing lower control arms on our Toyota Tundra. Let's get into it. First, we're going to remove the sway bar and link. To do this, you're going to need a 19mm socket and an impact. Next, we're going to loosen the bolt for the strut. So for this, we need 2 22mm sockets, a ratchet, and an impact. And we do not want to remove this just yet. Next, you want to make sure to grab a pole jack or a floor jack. We want to support the lower control arm. I'm going to tighten this up a little bit. I'd say right about there is good. Next, we're going to loosen these 2 bolts right here. So for these next 2 bolts, we're going to be using a 22mm socket and an impact. Now we're going to take out this bolt. So we're going to be using a 22mm socket and an impact. We're just going to start backing it out. Next, we're going to take a 24mm wrench and loosen this bolt right here. You can pull that bolt out as far as it'll go. Then we're going to move on to this side. After that, we're going to take a 24mm wrench, 24mm socket, swivel socket extension, and an impact, and loosen this bolt nut right here. Swap sides. Now we can lower our pole jack just a little bit, just to reposition it. If you want to raise it right here, then we can take out our bolt. So we're gonna use a hammer to tap this out actually, because it doesn't seem like it wants to come easy, so. Next we can pull this assembly out, pull that all the way out, set it aside. Now we want to slowly lower the pole jack, make sure we have a hand on this, because this is gonna come out. Now that we have the lower control arm off, it's time to separate this piece from the lower control arm because we are going to be reusing it. And in this video, I'm going to be reusing the cotter pin because the control arm that we have to install didn't come with it. So yours will definitely come with it. Ours just wasn't included in the box. So we're going to take some pliers, I'm going to peel this back. Alternatively, you could cut it. Take that out. I'm going to set this aside. We're going to take a 24mm socket, slide it on there, and an impact, and remove that nut. And if you get lucky, this might just come off. So no, we did not get lucky. So our next step is going to be taking our press and pressing this off. After that, you're going to get your ball joint tool. Just want to connect it. We're gonna get a 16mm socket, slide it over with an impact, and get it off. After a big fight, we can get this off, transfer it to the new one. So now we're gonna put this piece on, the new control arm. I'm gonna press down on it. We're going to take our new castle nut. So to tighten this down, we're going to be using a 27mm socket and an impact. And you want to make sure that hole is lined up with the castle nut so we can put our cotter pin through. Like I said before, ours was misplaced. It's not in our kit, but you will have a new one, so yours will be nice and shiny. I'm going to be reusing this old rusty one, and you're going to put it through. You're going to put the new one through. All right, well, this doesn't want to cooperate. You get the point. You're going to take your new one. You're going to slide it through. And then once it's out on the other end, you're going to take your pliers and you're going to bend it up. So I recommend doing one at a time. So what do I mean by that? You have two parts of your pin. Trying to bend it up all at once, it's gonna be a little bit hard. So the easier way to do it is to bend it like that. So it's gonna go through there, it's gonna be bent, you're gonna bend it over, and that's what it should look like. It'll be through though, but like I said, you know the reason why I'm showing it to you like this. So now we're gonna put our control arm back in. You're gonna take this through bolt. This through bolt's for this side. Then we can just leave it there for now. We're gonna put the through bolt on the other side and start hand tightening some things in. All right, if I haven't already mentioned this, you are gonna need an alignment after this. So once you get these tightened down, you definitely have to take this to get an alignment. We're gonna take this bolt, and we're gonna put it through right here. So then with this, we just want to line it up about there, and we're just going to thread this in by hand. We want to make sure it's loose like this. Now it's time to start putting this side together. And again, same thing with the other side. You want to make sure these are left loose. Next, we're going to get our pole jack or floor jack, whatever you have access to. You want to lift this up. We want to get this as close as possible to where we're going to be bolting everything in. So to help us, we're going to be using the jack. Now that we've done that, we want to line up our strut so we can put this through bolt in. You're going to take a pry bar. You're going to jam it in there. Almost rocked the truck off the lift. Don't want to do that. Yeah, be careful if you're doing this on a lift like me. I have a little foot pedal thing to adjust this, which makes it easier, but it can be a little bit dangerous if you're not careful. So we have that in, then we can just run this home with a socket and be very careful while we're doing it. So for this, we're gonna use a 22mm socket and an impact. We're just gonna run it in kind of slow, kind of fast. Now, we're gonna take our nut, put it on the back side. We're gonna use that same 22mm socket, impact. We're gonna use another 22mm socket and a ratchet on the back. We're gonna tighten this down. Next, you wanna locate these two bolts for this mount right here. And we're going to lift up the control arm a little bit so we can start these. And then once we have these threaded in by hand, we're gonna take our impact in whatever size socket to drill them up. Might need to use a pry bar to get this in place. Since I have this one threaded in first, we're gonna tighten this one down. It's gonna be a 23mm socket and an impact. And then once this one's tightened down, we can thread this one in. Not there yet. Next, we're gonna put our bolts in and tighten them down. You might need to get a pry bar to pry a little bit just to line up the ball joint. Then we're gonna tighten this down with a 23mm socket and an impact. And lastly, we're gonna lower the control arm and clear this sway bar and link. Gonna have to get our pry bar and pry up on that. You're gonna wanna grab a bigger pry bar than I just did. You're gonna pry up on this. All right, all it took was just a bigger pry bar. All right, you can get this in. Then we're gonna use a 19mm socket and an impact to tighten this down. Next, take a 24mm wrench. We're gonna tighten down this bolt right here. Then you're gonna take a 24mm socket, swivel socket extension, impact, and a 24mm wrench. We're gonna tighten this bolt down. Now remove your jack. And then do the same process on the other side. Alrighty, that about wraps up this review and install of the front lower control arms with ball joints for a 2007 to 2021 Tundra. Thank you for watching, and remember, for everything Tundra, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.